everyone, Catweazle here. Welcome back to Eldritch Horror and Cthulhu, turn 7. Okay, what's happened? Well, quite a bit. We've got Patrice is in Shanghai, a poor old delayed Skids is in Sydney, Diana Stanley is still in the South Atlantic fighting deep ones, and Akachi is in Arkham trying to close a gate. We've got a bit of a problem because the rumour is now a bit more relevant. We essentially took 2 locations out of the Expedition Encounters deck last turn, which means we can actually lose on reckonings if we don't solve that rumour. The good news is we're due to go to 3 places that are actually quite close to our investigators. One is Arkham, and we've got Akachi there already. Another is the Himalayas, which is only a stone's throw from Patrice, and the 4th one is Antarctica, which is not far from Skids. Skids is actually, he's got enough clues. Diana doesn't have enough clues, and another problem for Diana is she needs a clue to continue fighting the deep ones. So our first player is going to be Patrice, and let's see if we can get that clue over to Diana. Let's go to the action phase. And here we are with Patrice. First thing she's going to do is she's going to rest. She's pretty much going to rest from now till the end of the game, I think, because she's in bad shape. So that means she will get an extra health and an extra sanity. So she's now at 4 health and 3 sanity. What's she going to do after that? Well, after that, she's going to cast Arcane Insight. So ritual. So in the action phase, choose yourself or another investigator on any space, which will be Diana. Test law -2. You gain 1 additional die for each tome. So she's got arcane manuscripts, so that'll make it -1. If you pass, that investigator gains 1 clue. Then we flip the card. Additionally, on arcane manuscripts, it's a tome, so we've already got +1. We get another +1 from the tome itself. Gain +1 law when resolving spell effects, and we're doing a spell. So she's got a law of 3. Arcane manuscripts being a tome and having its own +1 for spell effects offsets the -2, so we will have 3 dice. No! We do have a focus, however. Yes! Oh, that was close, man. Close, close, close. So there's a focus. She's had to spend that. But it was all in a very good cause. So, not looking. There's a clue. That goes on Diana. So Diana now has a chance against the deep one attack. That's it for Patrice. Next up is Akachi Onyele, and she's in Arkham. Here's Arkham, here's the gate, and here's Akachi. Now, Akachi's not going to be moving. 2 reasons we want to close the gate. The further reason is the possibility that we may well get the expedition coming this way. So, what's she going to do? Well, first of all, she's going to rest. Now, that will immediately give her 1 more sanity. However, she does have the hypothermia, which means that she cannot get a health, which is a bit of a blow. But we do get a chance to... Oh, tell you what we haven't done. Keep forgetting. Got to flip the card. We got a success, didn't we? 0 to 2. All knowledge of all times and places assaults your feeble mind, shredding your previous perceptions of reality. That investigator loses 2 sanity unless they have a tome possession. They do have a tome possession. Whew, we got away with it. So, arcane manuscripts helped us out in all sorts of ways. So, Patrice, she's done the flip side of a spell. So, back to Akachi. She's had a rest. She didn't get health, but we can roll on exposure. When you perform a rest action, you cannot recover the health. Roll 1 die. If we get a 4, 5 or 6, we can get rid of this. Four. I believe it's a 4, 5 or 6. Woo! Get rid of hypothermia. Fandabby dozy. Because we didn't like it. So that's good. So what's she going to do for her next action? Well, let's say, can't move, but she can look at the gates. So she's got her action whereby she can look at the top 2 gates in the stack. So we're going to do that. So we've got Istanbul and we've got Tokyo. Right. So we're on a green comet now. So Istanbul is going to stay on the top because that's not going to set the doom off. Tokyo would be bad. We're looking to get eventually, like in about 9 turns time, I was hoping that perhaps Patrice could get to Tokyo. So if we put this on the bottom of the stack, we know it's coming last. So Istanbul top, Tokyo bottom. And that is Akachi's action phase. Next up, we have Diana Stanley down in the South Atlantic. And here we are with Diana. First up, she's going to do what she always does, which is have a rest. So she's got no conditions, so she will get a sanity and a health. So that's good stuff. She's now on fully up to 7 health. And she's on 4 sanity, which is good. She's already got 2 focus, so she can't focus. She's not going to move because we're fighting deep ones, and that pretty much means we cannot do anything else. I'm just checking her special actions, but that's to do with cultist monsters. No, that's it. So all she was able to do was rest and wait for the deep one. But she's been doing a sterling job. Right, after Diana Stanley, let's get across to Squidney. And here we are with Skids in Sydney. Well, he's delayed. So all he can do in his action phase is become not delayed. So that's it for Skids. Can't do anything else, but he will be able to participate in the encounter phase. Did somebody say encounter phase? Well, encounter phase, that's coming up now. And here's Patrice, and she is in Shanghai. So that's the Far East deck. Let's have a quick looky. Shanghai. The shrine holds an abundance of ancient relics. Improve law. Improve law. Good. So law goes up. Law's now 4. So that's cool. That helps. That helps casting arcane insight. Your eye catches strange figures written on the ceiling. You find it hard to look away. Will test. Her will is 5. Let's get that in shot. And she gets 3 successes. Woohoo! We do not fail, so nothing bad happens. Well done, Patrice. That's excellent news. Right, let's get across to Arkham and to Akachi. She's going back in the gate, baby. Yes, here she is. Akachi. Gonna try again to close this gate in Arkham. So let's get the gate deck. And flip it over, baby. Lost Carcosa. At an elaborate masquerade, you talk to decadent partygoers who are all manoeuvring to be declared as the proper heir to the crown. That's an influence test. Her influence is now 3. So let's have a go. Three successes. Woo! Believing that you can help him, a guest attempts to bribe you. Gain 1 artifact. One artifact, eh? So here we are. This is the artifact deck. No need to tell everybody out there, we could do with something pretty funky. Cult de Ghoul. I don't think this is pretty funky. Item tome, action phase, test law. If you pass, you may spend 1 sanity to gain 2 clues. Actually, that's not bad, because we don't have to discard. Oh, if only Diana had this. Yeah, you just get 2 clues. That's really good, actually. Fabulous. But that's funky. But let's not forget what we really want, which is we want to close this gate. Seeing this, the Queen demands that you unmask. She questions you relentlessly in an attempt to discover what you've learned. Become delayed unless you spend 2 clues. If you spend the clues, you gain her favour. Close this gate. We're gonna. That is how lucky was it to get Cult de Ghoul, because otherwise, she has got the clues to actually close the gate, but she'd have had no clues left. We need 2 clues just in case the expedition comes this way. That'd have been a bit of a nightmare. But we've got Cult de Ghoul, so we can test law and hopefully get those 2 back. So that is really lucky. Catweazle gets a bit lucky again. So we're going to spend those clues and we're going to close that gate. So discard those. The gate's gone. Foo. Foo. Well done, Akachi. Woo! So that goes to the back. And next up in the encounter phase is Diana Stanley fighting deep ones in the South Atlantic. Here we are with Diana. Well, it's the usual, isn't it? We're fighting deep ones. As per the deep ones attack mystery, she gets ambushed. Well, yeah, another deep one. I bet the sailors on that boat that she's got to get down here are just loving the fact that she's on this boat. So we get the usual will test shenanigans. She'll get 1 die. But because of a passive ability, she only ever has to sort of like lose 1 sanity should she fail this. But if we pass it, we don't even lose that. 2. Not ideal, but we lose the sanity we got back in the rest action phase. So she's back down to 3. But now the important thing, we are actually doing the strength test. So she's got a strength of 3. She does have Kid O'Brien, which means 1 health has already been took off that deep one. So we won't lose any health because we've already got 1 success. It is -1 on the strength, so she's going to get 2 dice. But we do have focus. We've got 2 focus. We didn't need it. We got a 5. So she yet again kills another deep one. We get the Eldritch token. That's 3 on the mystery now. We just need 1 more. Fantastic stuff from Diana. She's still got 2 focus left. And she's doing, you know, she's just doing a fantastic job. Let's move across to Skids, see what he can do in Sydney. Here we are with Skids in Sydney. So he's going to have Far East encounter. Sydney. The Theosophical Society is excited to hear what knowledge you have gained during your travels. You may spend 1 clue. If you do, they gratefully provide you with exercise and diet regimen that fortifies your vitality, improve strength. He is going to spend a clue because he's got 3. He only needs 2 if he has to get to, you know, to somewhere where he can actually deal with the expedition rumour. So he's going to spend a clue and he's going to improve strength. So we'll flip that strength token he's already got over. He's now got 6 strength. And here's the clue that he's discarding. So, not bad from Skids. Right. That's the end of the encounter phase, and we all know what that means. Oh yes. It's the laugh and chuckle phase. welcome back to the Mythos phase. So, without further ado, let's see what the bad news is. Well, we've got Omen Trap movement. So, we're going on to the blue constellation. We've got a blue constellation gate at Buenos Aires. So, Doom moves down 1. It's now at 11. We've got a good old reckoning. So, first up, monsters. The Wendigo doesn't have a reckoning. The Shoggoth does, but as you recall, he just recovers all his health, but he hasn't lost any. There is no other monster on the board, so that's the monsters done. Next up, Sunny Cthulhu. Usual business. It's just Deja Vu for Diana Stanley. She is going to get an Eldritch token on space 12. So, yet another deep one is attacking. So, that's it for Cthulhu and his Ancient One card. Then, Mythos Rumour cards. Exactly the same with this as happened like the last 4 turns, I think. We have to discard all the Pyramids expeditions. So, we'll discard the top one. We'll find out where we're going to be going with the expedition, then we'll find the others. So, that one goes. Oh, yes. Arkham. But what it does mean, Akachi's at Arkham. She currently has no clues. She has to succeed at that Cult de Ghoul to get 2 clues. So, bit of a crunch turn next turn. So, but first of all, get rid of all these. Another pyramid there. Should be 4 cards, I think. Another pyramid and the last pyramid. Right. This goes up over here. And that goes up over there. So, just the expedition seems to be following Akachi about, especially when she's got no clues. But like I say, we do have Cult de Ghoul. We have a chance of getting those clues. So that's the Mythos cards dealt with during the reckoning. After that, I believe it's the good old possessions and conditions. Nobody has got any possessions with a reckoning or any conditions with a reckoning. So that's fine. That saves us a bit of time. So that's it for the reckoning. We have a gate spawn. We know where it's going to go because Akachi had a look for us. It's going to go to Istanbul. There we go. So let's just sort that out. There's the gate. Istanbul. If you get a gate, it means you have to put your hand in the bag. The tentacle bag. What we're going to get. Right. Somewhat horrible, probably. Oh, a zombie. Oh, these are horrible. They can turn into bloody zombie hordes on a reckoning. And it's bloody reckoning city, isn't it? Right. Yeah, discard this monster and spawn the zombie horde epic monster on this space. Yeah, dead lucky. And I don't think we can get anybody there to deal with it. Certainly not by the end of next turn when the next Mythos phase is coming. So what have we got? Normal will test. That's fine. Strength -1. 2, got to get 2 toughness. It's not too difficult, but it's whether we can kill it in time. I don't think we can. I think we're going to end up with a zombie horde. But for the time being, it's a zombie. Right. So that's it for gates. Oh, let's get rid of the pyramids encounters. Right, discarded those. Another bloody yellow Mythos card. You can't sleep and can't stop shaking. Compulsively, you open up your suitcase and count everything, gripping everything you own so tightly your hands bleed. Burden of greed. Each item may discard any number of item possessions. He then loses 1 health for each item possession he has. This is very similar to the last one with the spells, isn't it? Item possessions. What is the bad news here? Patrice was our first player. How many items has she got? I think she hasn't got any. It has to have the keyword item. Arcane manuscripts, that's a tome. Arcane Insight is a ritual. Professor Rice, Henry Wilcox, their allies, and sacrifices to make is a task. She doesn't have to do anything. She's got away with it. Now, Akachi, she's got quite a few items. Oh no, she's only got two. She's got the revolver and the spirit dagger. The .18 Derringer is a trinket, and it says items. It says nothing about trinkets. Oh, hang on, I've just noticed something else. Let's just check. In fact, Arcane Manuscripts is an item, because it's a tome. She's not going to get rid of it, so Patrice is going to retain one item, and it's going to cost her 1 health. So, didn't notice that, but I have noticed on Cult de Ghouls that that's an item. So essentially she's got 3 items as Akachi. She's certainly not getting rid of Cult de Ghoul. The spirit dagger and she'll get rid of the revolver and keep the spirit dagger. So she discards that, but that does mean she is keeping 2 items. That will cost her 2 health. So she's down to 2 health. Not ideal, but she'll be staying in Arkham because she's trying to get rid of the expedition. So she will get back up to 3 health by resting, and then she'll be casting Cult de Ghoul, obviously. But we'll go through that during the turn review. Right, so that's Akachi sorted. More items. Fortunately, Diana Stanley, she's got the Arcane Scholar, is an ally. The Lucky Cigarette Case is a trinket, it's not an item. Professor Armitage and Kid O'Brien are allies, so she's fine. Skids has 2 items. He's got the blunderbuss and he's got the dynamite. So I don't want to get rid of any of those. So what he is going to do is he's going to have to lose 2, isn't he? He's going to have to go down to 2 health, I think. Yes. We're going to gamble. He's going to lose those 2 health, and he's down to 2. Again, not ideal, but we're going to gamble. I want to keep the... Could have got rid of the dynamite, I suppose, but I want to keep that for the Shoggoth. So, yeah. So we did lose some health through what I've done there. We only ended up discarding, I think, the revolver, but I think we need most of our items. We definitely need the Arcane Manuscript. I want to keep the Spirit Dagger for Akachi. We're certainly keeping Cult de Ghouls, and the Blunderbuss and Dynamite we've got to keep for Skids. Skids is our combat model. Right, so that's the end of the Mythos phase. I'll go and upload this, and then I'll be back shortly with the turn review. Hello everyone, welcome back to the turn review. First things first, what do we always forget to do? I always forget, set the clue off when she kills a deep one, so I'll do that now. That gets discarded. That little bit of housekeeping done. How did the turn go? Well, I think it went very, very well. Patrice, she was in Shanghai. Her main focus this turn was to cast Arcane Insight and to get that clue to Diana, and she did that. She rested, so she's now got 3 health and 3 sanity, so she's in a lot better shape than she has been. She's still got a couple of clues, and she managed to increase her lore to 4, which is going to help casting that Arcane Insight spell. Did lose 1 health due to keeping hold of Arcane Manuscripts, which is an item during the Mythos phase, but we need that. We do need that to help in casting Arcane Insight, so we were always going to keep that. Akachi was amazing. She rested and she hung around in Arkham, had a look at the top 2 gates for us. We put Tokyo on the bottom, we kept Istanbul at the top, and during the encounter phase she was able to close the gate to Lost Carcosa. But more importantly, she managed to get Cult de Ghouls, the artifact, which will allow her to test lore and lose a sanity to gain 2 clues. That could be immense, because the expeditions moved there. Diana Stanley, she pretty much deja vu for Diana once again. She managed to kill the deep one. Got an Eldritch token, which has now gone onto the deep one's attack mystery card. So we've got 3 on there. We just need 1 more. During the Mythos phase, we've got a reckoning again. So we've got another deep one lined up for her. Pretty much same as for Diana. Skids. Skids was delayed, so he didn't get any action phase whatsoever. But he did get an encounter and he was able to bump his strength up again. He can't bump it up anymore now. He is on +2 now. But he's got 6 strength and that's really good. He had to spend a clue to do it. But, you know, he's still got 2 clues left. In the Mythos phase, he lost a couple of health because he kept the blunderbuss and the dynamite. But he really does need those. He is our combat model. He's the monster killer. So he's on 2 health. Again, Akachi is pretty much in the same boat. She had to spend a few in order to keep Cult the Ghouls and the Spirit Dagger. So she's on 2 health as well. So we are sailing a bit close to the win there. But I think that was the right call. Okay, next turn. First player, Patrice again. She has to send that arcane. She has to cast Arcane Insight and obviously send another clue to Diana so I can forget to put it on the deep one and remember in the turn review next time. That's pretty much it for Diana. She can't move from Shanghai as much as I'd wanted to. Although the expedition is at Arkham, I'm going to keep her at Shanghai just in case we're not able to shut it at Arkham and it goes to the Himalayas or something. So she's going to have another encounter phase in Shanghai. Maybe even get her law up again with any luck. Akachi. Akachi, she's going to rest. Possibly we'll give the looking at the gates thing a rest. She will rest and then she will gain a focus. The reason for that is I want to make sure that I pass Cult the Ghoul. She will have 3 dice. But just to have a focus, just in case we have to re-roll one, would be extremely helpful. So I think I'll do that rather than look at the gates. Cast Cult the Ghoul, hopefully get 2 clues, and then we'll get 2 observation die to roll to get rid of Secrets of the Past, which has been a pretty much pain in the ass all the way through the game. Hopefully we'll do that, we'll get rid of that rumour, and that is a monkey off our back and no mistake. Next up will be Diana. Deja vu Diana will be doing what she's been doing pretty much all game. Well, at least it feels like that. She'll get ambushed by a deep one, so she'll have to have a rest in the action phase, but that's all she can do. She's got 2 focus, so she'll have a rest, get her sanity up to 4, then she will attempt to kill the deep one. Hopefully, if she does that, we'll get that mystery we'll get the Eldritch token. That will be 4 Eldritch tokens on the mystery card, and we will be laughing and hopefully finalise that second mystery. Skids. Well, Skids is a bit of an enigma wrapped in a mystery. He's only got 2 health, which I don't like. Also, in Sydney, he's only 1 away from Antarctica. As I say, if the expedition ends up going to Antarctica because Akachi can't close it and we get a reckoning, he'll, with his observation, he's probably pretty cool to get to Antarctica, though Diana could get there as well, but she doesn't have 2 clues. So there's that to bear in the back of the mind. Additionally, because he's only got 2 health, him getting a ship ticket and going to Buenos Aires to tackle the Shoggoth, well, that means that he wouldn't get to rest and he'll have to fight it with only 2 health. But we could probably risk that. The other thing to bear in mind is the zombie that could possibly turn into a zombie horde at Istanbul. He can't get there, but if he bought a ship ticket, he could get to Mumbai and be 1 away. Other options he has, he could rest, get 1 health and 1 sanity back, and he has the option of moving once to either Jakarta to pick up that clue. Essentially he's heading towards Istanbul and the possible zombie horde, or he could move 1 to space 3, in which case he's heading towards the Shoggoth, pick up the clue on that C space, but picks up the clue on that C space, there is a possibility of a reckoning, which would mean we'd get an Eldritch token on there. So, you know, and there may be other options that I haven't thought of. I think particularly with Skids, anybody that comes up with an idea for Skids would be much appreciated. Thank you. But I'm probably leaning to sending him towards Buenos Aires. 1, it possibly kills a Shoggoth, and 2, he can possibly shut a gate, and that would help out. Right, that seems to be the plans for next turn. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much for all the subscriptions and all the views and all the tips and everything. Very much appreciated. I hope you join me for turn 8 of Eldritch Horror Cthulhu. Until then, this is me, Catweazle, signing off. Toodaloo.